Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Chenneville, and I'm a professor of psychology and pediatrics at the University of South Florida, where I also serve as a Marie E. and E. Leslie Cole Endowed Chair in Ethics. In this flash presentation, I'm going to share insights from two federal fellowships that gave me a unique vantage point on the relationship between science and policy, from working directly on Capitol Hill to helping advance scientific integrity policies in the executive branch. This talk draws on two complementary experiences funded through the American Psychological Association and the American Association for the Advancement of Sciences through their Science, Technology, and Policy Fellowship program. The first experience involved serving as a congressional fellow, working with lawmakers, and the second involved serving as an executive branch fellow at the National Science Foundation, working on the scientific integrity team. Together, these roles offered insight into how science informs policy and the ethical challenges that arise when evidence, politics, and public trust intersect. Science and policy share a common goal, improving societal well-being. But of course, they operate under very different incentives and timelines. Understanding their relationship requires recognizing that both scientists and policymakers share ethical responsibilities in how evidence is produced, communicated, and used. As a congressional fellow on Senator Ron Wyden's domestic policy team, I led the LGBTQIA plus policy portfolio while also supporting work in education, public health, housing, and the judiciary. My role involved drafting legislation, preparing oversight materials, and engaging with community stakeholders. Life on Capitol Hill moves very quickly and requires constant collaboration. Much of the work involves translating complex issues into concise policy language, coordinating with staff and advocates, and responding rapidly to emerging legislative priorities. While major policy shifts can take years, even small legislative steps can have meaningful impact. Drafting letters, shaping the language of bills, or helping frame an issue for lawmakers can influence policy directions in ways that accumulate over time. One key lesson I learned from my experience on Capitol Hill is that relationships and timing matter as much as scientific evidence. Science alone rarely persuades. Stories, strategy, and trust often do. Policy progress is usually incremental, so persistence and diplomacy are essential, and success often means playing the long game. My executive branch fellowship at the National Science Foundation focused on advancing scientific integrity. Working on the scientific integrity team and the NSF Office of the Director, my work aimed to ensure that federal science remains transparent, credible, and protected from political interference. Specifically, my work included revising the NSF's scientific integrity policy, drafting procedures and guidance documents, and supporting interagency training initiatives. A major focus was clarifying the difference between legitimate scientific disagreement and actual scientific integrity violations. My experience in the executive branch, especially my placement in a federal funding agency, reinforced that science needs advocates both inside and outside the government. Language matters in policy, relationships drive change, and scientific integrity is not just a document. It's something that must be practiced every day through decision-making and accountability. Both fellowships highlighted the importance of reciprocity between science and society. Trust depends on transparency, accountability, and mutual respect between scientists, policymakers, and the public. In a polarized environment, strengthening trust requires asking difficult questions. What structures best protect scientific integrity? How do we communicate science responsibly? And what responsibilities do each of us hold as scientists, policymakers, and citizens? We all need to reflect on how we might reimagine our reciprocal obligations to advance science for the public good. Thank you for your time. Please reach out to me if you'd like to further discuss ways to strengthen the relationship between science, policy, and public trust, or if you would like to learn more about the fellowships available to people from all different disciplines through the American Association for the Advancement of Sciences. Thank you again.